What up, y'all? It's your boy Tay Day All Day, back again with another episode. And it's your boy today. I really want to talk to you guys. I got something on my chest, man. I'm going to get it off. It's just differences, man. It's about family. When we talking about family, all different types of cultures have different ways of handling situations. And also, when it comes down to behaviors, rules, yada, yada, yada. So, growing up being African-American, in an African-American household, there's for the majority of us, they grew up in the 90s. You had certain rules, you had things that you didn't know, or you didn't do, I'm sorry. And things you were allowed to do, which was little. It's a very strict household usually. And the mama, putting in work. If the daddy was around, usually the daddy was the disciplinary that put the actions on you. But what I really want to talk about is when you are in a relationship and family, how your family can bond, how things can come together, and understanding those qualities, similarities and differences, and understanding how you guys can come together still with your differences. When I was coming up, if you went over a friend's house or a family member's house, when you're in their household, you go by their rules. If you ask for a cousin to come over, you go by their rules, and if you didn't like it as a child, then you try to, only difference is you try to ask your cousin to come to your house. Y'all figure out who house y'all like to be at together the most, and that's the house you try to go over the most. That's kind of how it was. Nowadays and age, you got a lot of technology, social media, and things like that keep you guys together. Family members and friends. You guys can play video games, seeing each other, and all that type of crap. But the biggest thing is to understand is, well, how can families understand one another? And I don't feel like my girlfriend's family understands or lives that way. I'm sorry. They don't go by those same rules, which I feel like it's fair. If you're gonna come over to my house, if you want to be at my house to hang out, then you should abide by my rules. Also, if you are the kid or the teenager or whoever you are, if you invite somebody over. So if I invite you over to my house, I am the host. I do not care if you are 7 years old. Growing up, you are responsible for your company's actions. I don't care if it's your family member or a friend, girlfriend. You are responsible for their actions. So if they spill something or if you start acting different, it is your fault. Now, in some families, households, obviously with my girlfriend's family, they do not do it the same way. Why I say this is because when they come over, or first of all, they don't allow their child to be at home by themselves for any amount of time. Somebody that's 18 or older, or I would say 16 and older, has to be with them at all times. In my family, me and my brother, we were staying at home at 6 or 7 years old. He's 8 or 9. We were staying at home all day because mama had to go to work and daddy was in the military and stepdad got kicked out or was at work. You have to do what you have to do. Now, in this situation, it's just, well, do you think it's okay for a 10-year-old or almost 10-year-old and a 12-year-old to be at home for 3 hours by themselves, 2.5 hours? Because we were going to see a movie, and the cousin was supposed to come over on my girlfriend's side, and she's like, the mother was like, well, we don't trust our son being at home with my girlfriend's son by themselves for 2.5 hours while we go watch a movie. It's a movie that the kids, they just won't understand it, because it was Bad Boys 3. And for y'all that know Bad Boys, you're gonna have to see 1 and 2 so you can understand 3. It's just like any other sequels. You're gonna have to see, because they're gonna give you information, and you're gonna be able to see the normal cast, see how many people still are coming back and are acting, blah blah blah. So in that situation, it was like, okay, we'll just let them sit at home. The kid's gonna get them some pizza, Little Caesars, and got them something to drink, and let them play the video game, because that's all they're gonna do anyway. You ain't watching them anyway. They're gonna be in the room playing the game for hours, until they ready to go to sleep. So I thought that was also one thing that was different. And then, of course, as I said before, the differences of how the family bonds. The kids don't know whenever you're over the house that you're the host. You're supposed to be the responsible one, showing them around your house. It's your house. You live there. So you need to take care of that house and tell your cousin or your company how they should do things. So, in that retrospect, you should kind of understand. I hope you guys understand where I'm getting at. I just think that it was problematic, I feel like they make things a little more complicated by not letting kids be kids, and also helping them understand responsibilities. And also, like in the Latino, not all Latinos, but majority of Latinos, they clean up after their kids, and they do everything for their kids. And then they wonder why they're bad, or they ain't doing stuff right. What I don't get is that, like, my girlfriend's sister and her little cousin, they allow him to still play sports and do everything else. And kids fail in classes, and he talks back and yells at them and don't listen to them half the time, and acts crazy. And he comes over my house, and I'm talking to him like, hey, you in my house now. Either you gonna listen to me, or you ain't coming back over. That's it. I pay the bills around here, not you. You don't come to somebody else's house and think you run the show. I don't go to somebody invites me over to their house, and I don't come in and run the show and tell them what to do in their house, or how I'm gonna act in their house. You tell people to leave. Shit. I'm 26 years old. Me and my daddy got into it fucking playing video games and drinking, or board games and drinking. He kicked me out the house. It wasn't really my fault, but, we got into it. It just, shit happens. And so, that's kind of how it is. If you don't like how somebody's acting, then they leave. They need to leave. I don't care if you young or you old. There's always should be a state of responsibility put on the person that is inviting you over. Of course, as you get older, you'll have more of understanding. But if you teach them young, then they'll know as they get older, and it will become smoother transition for them, especially when they start moving out and living on their own. But ultimately, I would like to know you guys' opinion on, what do you think? How do you think somebody should act? Or if your child invited over a friend or a family member, do you agree with them being the host? Do you agree with or disagree with a child or two children that are the age of 10 or 12 or older staying at home for 2 to 3 hours by themselves while you go and handle business or, go see a movie with a family member that was already planned a week ahead of time? What is your opinion on the subjects, the two subjects at hand, or the three subjects? Because do you think that those differences can be handled in a better way? How can you adapt to someone else's ways and still make things work? Thank you guys for listening in. This is Tay-Day, trying to get advice from you people. I hope you all can help me out. I'll be trying to post and continue posting as much as I can. I'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much. Peace.